The other thing that the Lord showed me regarding these things is what is going to happen with the U.S. dollar. What is going to happen with the U.S. dollar? Now, let me share with you what the Lord showed me. And this was way back when the dollar was strong, not like it is now. I had this first experience with the dollar, and back in 2009. I had just returned in January 29 of 2009. I had just returned from a mission trip to Cuba. Was not feeling well, and so I had dinner with the pastor and his wife where I was staying, their home, and I went to bed early. And during that night, the Word of God came to me, and He said 3 times to me, I have planned, or they have planned, a super devaluation to bury the U.S. dollar. Now, remember, this was 2009. And I did not understand what he meant by super devaluation. I asked my pastor friend if he knew someone that I could talk to about what the Lord had told me, showed me in the dream. So he got on the phone and set up a meeting with a brother in his church that had knowledge of financial matters, and we went to see him. And we had breakfast, and then we went to see him. Then this man told me, when I shared with him what the Lord had shown me and told me that night, he said to me, he said, this is probably going to be worse than the currency devaluation of Argentina some years ago. He said, this probably is going to be more like the currency devaluation that took place in Germany and Russia. And, you remember that? If not, you can do a search on it. Back in those days, the super devaluation took place in Germany and Russia. They brought their money, their paper money, in wheelbarrows to buy a loaf of bread. And sometimes the bakery, the man selling the bread, would tell them, no, I don't want the money, just leave their wheelbarrow. That I can accept for the loaf of bread. Incredible. This is still to come, folks. They have been planning this situation in the world and in the United States for a long time. In another dream after this one, on the similar subject, I went to the supermarket to do my shopping. And as I looked around the store, I noticed there were not many people shopping as they normally were. And as I started to walk up and down the aisles, I began to notice the prices on many of the things. And it was very expensive. I noticed the prices on coffee, milk, peanut butter, cereals, things like that, meat. It was twice as much as I remembered it was. Twice as much. Other things like meat and poultry and cheese and other items, it was probably 2 to 3 times as expensive that I remembered. So as I continued to look around, I noticed everything had gone up in price, doubled in price. Some of the items even tripled in price. I was shocked by what was happening and wondered how the people were going to be able to feed their families. And so, and I wrote back then, again, this was back in around 2009, 2010, somewhere around there. I said, back then, the Lord gave me, and this is what I wrote, is posted. It says, the hyperinflation will be the result of a super devaluation of the dollar, which has already begun to and will escalate going forward. The nation will go financially bankrupt, unable to pay its debt. The U.S. dollar will become worthless. It will impact all the currencies, not just the dollar. There will be a super devaluation of the dollar in the future. It will be brought about in order to kill it as the national currency and replace it with a new national currency or world currency. When this happens, it's going to cause mass panic and confusion, not only in America, but in countries abroad. And so, this is why I have been telling the people of God to get out of debt and to prepare for these difficult economic times that are coming. Get out of debt. Get your hands on tangible assets that are not U.S. dollars, although you will need the U.S. dollars cash at first to buy things. But that is what the Lord showed me. Now, this one in 15, I was laying on my bed at night, and I was abruptly awakened, and I heard his voice, the voice of my beloved, say to me, "The great apostasy is getting ready to take place on the earth. It will come with many calamities. It is about to begin. Do not be afraid for the things you are about to see. Remember, I am with you. The greatest manifestation of my glory is going to take place." And so, when I woke up and I felt his presence in my room, I sensed in my spirit this was an important message. And I was also shown, now, and this is all written, you can go there and check it out for yourself, that I didn't write this now, this was back in 2015. I said, darkness is intensifying all over the earth as man is getting more evil by the day. There will be a mass exodus from the Christian faith. A great apostasy will take place. Many will not be able to hold to the foundations of their faith as written in the Word of God. Those that hold on to their faith and continue to believe what is written in the Bible and obey, it will be considered antiquated. It will be considered not in tune with present times and a hindrance to the new world system. I also heard and received in my spirit that there was going to be a persecution unleashed on those that believe and follow Jesus. They will be hunted down like animals and executed without mercy. It is going to be a time of great testing. Many will be martyred for what they believe, and the cries of his people for justice will cause the release of horrific divine judgments upon the earth. The evil and the corruption of man has reached the heavens in the presence of the Holy One. And I wrote, soon the people of the earth will know that there is a holy, righteous judge in heaven. For the heavens will shake and will drip blood.